We live in a world of almost no, not the right word. People say that at 18, I'm too young to fall in love. Too young to feel pain. Too young to know what friendship is, to know what trust is. Too young to know who I want to be. But what if that's the exact opposite? What if I know exactly who I want to be and who I'm going to be? What if everything I do now has a reason, everything I've done, even the things that hurt people, even the things that didn't make sense to anyone else, what if I did them for a reason? What if my reason for doing certain things that no one expected or understood why had more of a meaning than they thought? In the sense of maybe little things I do intentionally pushed people away for their own safety. What if I know more about love than teenagers are given credit for? Of course, I can't prove it. I can't sit down with someone and say, I know everything. Because I don't. I'm only human, and human beings aren't made with the reason to know everything. Human beings are made to know what they can. Human beings are made with the ideals of a poorer race. I'm 18. I'm not expected to know anything, and I don't. But apparently I'm too young to be reading philosophy books, too young to be trying to work out the world, too young to be setting paths and... But what if I'm not too young for any of these things and I understand more about them than some of the adults these days? I'm not saying I do. I'm not saying I'm this child genius with the intelligence of anything that surpasses anyone else of my age. I'm just saying, what if people are wrong? What if everything we feel is just as real as anyone else's? Wouldn't that change everything we feel? Wouldn't that be... If our teenage years were more real than we give them credit for? I mean, obviously, as a teenager, we sit there and go, oh shit, my life is over, I just broke up with the guy I love. And my nails broke and I failed my exam. But I mean, what if we actually knew exactly what we think we know? What if we weren't just cocky little arrogant arseholes who moved too fast and thought too quickly? Life has a strange way of working, but I think I've realised something. This world is nothing as I first thought it was. Nothing at all. Every pre-decided idea is nothing but an idea. Every thought we have on our existence is exactly that. A thought, a possible existence, a possible reality. So maybe I'm a little crazy, maybe I'm a little different. Maybe it's that makes me realise this. And I'm not that smart at all. In fact, I'm a complete idiot. I mean, if you've sat here and watched half my videos, I talk nonsense in the large majority of them. I fuck around, I dance about, but I'm a kid. It's what I'm meant to do. Or at least, I'm a young adult. An adult. I don't know if you can call me an adult. But, I mean, age-wise, I'm an adult, but no. I don't see the point in growing up just to become something that I don't want to be. Peter Pan complex, they say. I'm human. I feel, I think. The phrase, I think, therefore I am. Yeah. I think, therefore I am. We all have different ways of thinking, but this is what I say about beliefs and ideas, and what you see as truth in a situation is only what you can see. Only what you can formulate in your mind. Because I tell you now, in any argument, any disagreement, any falling out, there will be two sides of the story. Now what if in that falling out, you decided to listen to the other person's side, and no matter how crazy or whole it seemed, you decided to believe it as a fact. Then present your story on top of it, and you'll find falling outs thoughts tend not to happen. It's the whole walking in someone else's shoes, but no one ever does that. When they're angry, they just scream at the other person. Not necessarily scream, but you just blame others. Sorry, my cat knocked something on the floor and it briefly threw me off thought track, but I'm in a strange mood. Something feels off key, not quite right, out of place. Something is ticking, like a clock that is ticking 3 milliseconds out of another one, just stuck somewhere or other, and I can't pinpoint it. My voice is really fucked, man. Sorry I keep mentioning that, it's because I can notice it as I talk, and it bothers me ever so slightly. But what if our main existence is simply to exist as an experiment? You ask me what I mean. My mom might be coming through the door. No, that's not what I mean. What if we're simply being tested? Not by God, not by anything, but by ourselves, to see if we'll work out that everything that happens to us now and everything we believe isn't a lie. Everything we are told isn't a lie. Everything we're presented with, it's not a lie. It's just a figment of something that isn't a constant, something that is edited and changed. What if our own minds can bend the truth? If our own minds can edit existence, then what if everything we see before us isn't true? If our minds are simply all we are, if we're like sitting around as a mind in some sort of room, all of us together in this big room, and all we are is thought, this whole world is created by our minds, a sort of figment of an imagination, a powerful imagination, because there's no way it could have seen all this if we've just been sit in this room. An imagination that manages to create a whole existence, to create people. But what if the people are other minds and we've managed to get a psychic connection? I know it's a long shot. I know it seems like I'm rambling on any sense of logic, but it's a thought, is it not? Isn't everything else a theory? That our existence, it's all debatable. And if it's real, then what can we say? If what I'm saying is real right now, then that means every time you thought someone's been wrong, or that you've been right, or that someone said something and you can't work out how that could have happened, that maybe, just maybe, you're both wrong. It didn't happen, but at the same time it did. It happened in that person's mind, because their mind is creating their world. There are so many disagreements over the littlest things. Something like, no, she had red hair, no, she had green hair. Well, not red and green, because those aren't common colours for hair, but you know what I mean, the smallest changes in people's thoughts. Now that could simply be misconception, that could simply be a different way of seeing things, but I don't think it is. I think there's so much more than that. I think in a way we're living in different worlds, which is another precise reason why we can change the world we live in and edit it, because we quite literally create the existence we live in. We quite literally are all we are. That didn't make sense. I don't know if any of this makes sense. It might only make sense to me, and I'm a bit loopy in the head, so perhaps I'm just rambling and nothing is quite clocking together, and jigsaw pieces aren't fitting in the way I'd like them to. But then, I'm too young to understand the world, too young to know what suffering is, too young to know about anything, apparently. So any of this doesn't need to make sense, because it's just thoughts inside a pubescent mind. Is 18 still pubescent? Still hormonal, I can tell you that, but pubescent, I don't know. People are amusing. As almost horrible as it sounds, and as strange as it sounds, I've played my own experiments on the human race. Some with detrimental effects, some with positive. Not detrimental effects to them, detrimental effects to my relationship with people involved. I want to build up this truth, this understanding of everything, and I have to test things out. sadly, some of the tests end up in me losing friends. But at the same time, they add good bits of data to my data. I sound like some sort of crazy scientist, but hey, I always did want to be a crazy scientist. It's a really scary thought, isn't it, really? But I was everything I wanted to be. I'm a young girl. I may not always be happy, I may not always be smiling, but I'm who I want to be. If I wasn't, then I'd just be someone else, wouldn't I? Because that's what's good about personality. You can change it, you morph it. You do what feels comfortable, and if you don't like who you are, you just change it, I guess. Obviously, when you realise you don't like who you are, because not everyone does, not everyone works out, but the issue isn't someone around them, it's who they are themselves. I've now rambled on for 11.5 minutes about philosophical theories, about what kids are meant to think. So, to anyone still watching this video, you have a lot of faith in me, or interest in what I'm talking about. But am I talking about something constant, or am I just bouncing from theory to theory and thought to thought? Because I don't think I've stayed on the same idea for very long at all, but again, the human mind is variable. It doesn't stay on one thing. If we simply spent our lives talking about one thing, we'd all be stuck on birth. Why I work out birth? Because the first thing that happens in a human's life is they are born. Now, as a baby, whether we understand it or not, I'm pretty sure what they'll be debating is where the fuck they just came out of this warm, safe environment. It's my belief that babies don't cry to tell you they're alive. They cry because they don't understand. They want to go back. But they're not strong enough to hold on, to claw back inside this. That's why women have to push, because no kid wants to come into this world. No kid is going to sit there and go, yay. Bring on wars, starvation, poverty. Not that I'm suffering from these directly, but you still witness it. You see people suffering and know that you can't do anything about it. And that right there is something that they don't want to be a part of. They don't want to be judged for existing. But it happens, doesn't it? You're all judging me right at this very moment for things I've said in this video, for things I've done in previous videos, for my music taste, for... We're all a judgmental species, and it's disgusting. Alright, before this hits 15 minutes, because I'm pretty sure it cuts off at 15 minutes, I'm going to let this ramble go. And I'm just going to say thanks for listening to those of you that did actually watch to the end of the video, because I'm aware this is a really long video, and that you people don't have time to listen to it anymore. Sorry, I thought my mom was back, but it was actually just my music. Give it up, oh, boy, boy, get it big enough. Sorry. Is this song just about sex? Sorry, I may have a really bad mind, but in the sense of... Come on, rude boy, can you get it up? Come on, rude boy, is it big enough? Okay, anyway. After 14 seconds, I'm done for now. I do have to make a video about tattoos and my opinions on it, but I want to stick in some more random shit in between, because I don't want to just rant at you and throw out my thoughts, because no one wants to listen to my thoughts anyway. I mean, fucking hell, you have thoughts of your own, right? Hopefully, otherwise you're a robot. That's it, anyway. Au revoir. Kill